Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Casper Planetarium's Astronomy Podcast. My name's Rod. I'm your host today. What we like to do is talk a little bit about how we use the constellations in the sky to find our way to other constellations in the sky. So I set our simulator here to April 1st tonight at 9 o'clock. And if you look towards the northeast and you look kind of high up in the sky, we see a very easy to see group of stars. I didn't say constellation because this is what we call an asterism. If we connect the dots between these four stars here and then these three stars here, we get a group of stars that we commonly call the Big Dipper. Now, the Big Dipper is not a constellation. It is a part of a bigger group of stars, a real constellation called Ursa Major. Oops, that's Ursa Minor, sorry. Ursa Major, the Great Bear, and the Great Bear we can use, as we mentioned in a previous episode, we can use these two stars, Merak and Dubhe, and if we follow from Merak to Dubhe in a straight line, and we keep going, we eventually come to this star right here, Polaris. And Polaris is the tip of the handle of the Little Dipper, or Ursa Minor. Now, we can use the Big and Little Dippers to find some other constellations. If we look to the curve of the Big Dipper's handle here, the bend in the handle is a star called Mizar. See if I can select it there. There's Mizar. If we go halfway between Mizar and this star in Ursa Minor, Firkad, or this star right here, Kokab, halfway in between is a star called Thuban. Now, Thuban is a star in the constellation we call Draco the Dragon. And Draco winds its way between the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, and is sometimes mistaken for one of the Dippers because of Draco's head right here. Well, if we turn a little more towards the east, rising in the east after 9 o'clock is a very, very bright star called Arcturus. And Arcturus is easy to find if you find the curve of the Big Dipper's handle and follow the arc to Arcturus. Follow the arc to Arcturus. And Arcturus is the brightest star in the constellation Boötes, the herdsman. Well, if we look up a little higher in the sky, if we use the stars Merak and Dubhe, and instead of going towards the Little Dipper, if we go this direction, the opposite direction, and go down, we find a very bright star right here, which is the star Regulus. Regulus is the brightest star in the constellation Leo the Lion. And these are well, let's go this way a little bit. Now, if we use the Big Dipper, if we go from this corner to this corner of the bowl, and we go through the corner of the Big Dipper's bowl and go this way, we come to the twin stars Pollux and Castor. Now, Pollux and Castor look like twin stars because they are part of the constellation Gemini, the twins. And if it happens to clear off tonight, you'll be able to see the first quarter moon right there, just a little bit below, just right here close to Pollux. And then if we keep going from Gemini this way, we can find the most famous constellation in the sky, one we talked about in a previous episode, Orion the Hunter. Now, there's two additional bright stars in this part of the sky going to be setting in the southwest, the brightest of which is almost as bright as the planet Venus, is the star Sirius in the constellation Canis, the brightest star in Canis Major, and above it, near Gemini is Procyon, the brightest star in Canis Minor. Well, that's now. If that's one other thing I want to point out here, halfway between Pollux and Regulus is a constellation that's really, really, really hard to see unless you're under really, really dark skies. This constellation is Cancer the Crab. Now, Cancer the Crab, right here, is another star cluster or group of stars called the Beehive Cluster, or M44. And if we center on it, and then we magnify it, now this is a great little open star cluster similar to the Pleiades or the Seven Sisters, and if we magnify it, we see a beautiful little cluster of stars that in ancient times was actually used as a predictor of the weather. If you could see the stars of Leo and Gemini, but you couldn't see if the sky was clear and you couldn't see the Beehive Cluster, it meant that there was a lot of humidity in the air and there was a chance there was a storm coming. So this is a great target to look at with binoculars or a small telescope. So that's today's episode. Keep an eye out on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel for other episodes. They'll be coming out. Also, we are considering doing a live stream. I'm still planning on doing that. Keep an eye out. We may be doing that this Saturday, a live tour of the night sky. So, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.